Hello, I'm Ron, the founder of BeginnerTriathlete.com. I would like to welcome you to the site. What started nearly 10 years ago as a race report from my very first triathlon now is a community of nearly 200,000 athletes, complete with a forum of 3 million posts. This video will serve to highlight the many features of BeginnerTriathlete.com. You don't have to be a beginner to use the site. Over the years, we have many half and full Ironman triathletes now using the site regularly, so you will find a little something for everyone. Within the programs area of the site, you have access to several dozen training plans, from sprints all the way up to full Ironman training plans. We even have beginner cycling training plans and couch to 5K training plans. As a free member, you have access to several dozen training plans. Just scroll down until you find the one you like, click on plan description, and that will give you an article about the training plan and also your training schedule. Scrolling all the way down, you can go to a printer-friendly view to print it out and put it on your refrigerator to start training. One of the main features of the site is the training log. Clicking on this button will take you directly to your training log blog view. The blog view is what I like to think of as a heads-up display of all of your most current training. So scrolling down, you'll see your current month as a calendar view with relevant color codes of what type of workouts were done on that day. You also have your last 5 weeks of training, with the final bar being your current week. So you can get a quick look at how your training has been progressing the last month. This is your dashboard area where you can put virtually anything. Motivational quotes, you can configure goals. To the right, you'll have your planned races, or any races that you want to do and have imported them into your training log. They will be. You also have some goals. Here is your heart rate zone area where you can view and configure your heart rate zones. If you have added equipment to your equipment tracker, that equipment will show up here along with your current usage, hours, and distance. Over to the left here, you have totals of the current year and last year of all of the sports you have logged, and also the current and previous month for quick comparisons. In the middle area, obviously, is your training. You just click on the training link to log your data. Also, clicking on the nutrition link, you can go to our food log. And scrolling down further to the bottom, you'll have a friends area where you can add friends and go directly to their training log. The training log also comes with various different reports and ways to look at your data if you don't like the blog view, which is what we're on now. You also have calendar views that you can go to for quick summaries of totals and pop-ups of the workouts that you have done. After you have chosen a training plan that suits your ability and goals, you will probably want to go to the races area of the website, where we have several thousand races listed in our database along with race reports. What you will see is for each race listing, for example this first one, clicking on that will take you to the race listing. To the right, we have a graph of how this race was rated by everybody who has filled out a race report. We also have race discussions, which are current discussion groups started by members, where you can talk about the race and ask questions about it. You will also see a listing for race reports by year of every member that has done this race and has completed a race report. The race reports are very detailed. You can get a lot of good information when you're scouting out a race. You can directly add the race to your planned race log. And what this does is imports the race details into our race log as a draft. And once you have completed that race, you can go in and edit it to fill in all of the details about your race. In the race log area, as your season progresses, you will grow your list of races. One great feature about this area is the race details list, which shows you all of the pertinent details of how you placed in your races per segment, the time, the distance, your pace for that segment, and your overall and age group breakdowns. Another good feature of the race log, once you have put in lots of races, is to go to the race graphs area. And what this does is it allows you to pull up various metrics graphically of all of your races. So let me look at all of my sprint races by age group rank all the way till now. You will see my age group percentile ranking of all of the sprints, triathlons that I've done. This is great to look for some strengths and weaknesses comparing yourself to the rest of the field. You can also view this by pace, overall rank. You could see the time it has taken you in transitions to see if you can improve upon that. Once you have found a training plan and a race to train for, you'll probably want to go to our routes area to look for swim, bike, and run routes near your area. So clicking on that button, putting in your city and the keywords will bring up all of the routes in your city. So say I'm looking for a bike route. That's about 10 miles long, which will fit nicely into my sprint or Olympic training plan. There's a bike route. Clicking on it will give you the full map of the route. You can also click on elevation graph to see how hilly it's going to be. You can also save it to your routes because you have a route manager, and doing this every time you log your training and do this route, you can click on that you've done this route and you'll get interesting statistics that way. Or you can go to your route manager and create a new route, and this will allow you to map your own routes so you can choose them in your training log to start tracking how you use this route and how your pace compares over time. If you use the route manager in conjunction with your training log, every time you log your training and tag a route to it that you have done, going to your route manager, you can get a route history. This is a very cool area where every time you do this route, you can bring up a graph of how your pace has changed over time on this same route. The last main area of the site are the forums. Our forums are one of the most busiest triathlon forums on the net, and we are closing in on 3 million total posts. If you scroll down, you'll find a place for you, no matter what ability you are. In the spring and fall, we have mentor programs for new triathletes. Our main forum is Triathlon Talk, where you can ask any question. We encourage you to introduce yourself in our Introduce Yourself forum. You will also see your configured state brought up right under Introduce Yourself, so you can keep up on your current state events. Beginner Triathlete is not just for beginners, but we have a very active iron distance training forum where you will be able to ask and get answered any question on your half and full Ironman races.